Welcome, dudes and dudettes, to Storytime with Mr. Hooliganisms. I am your host, Mr. Hooliganisms, and it's story time. Got on my face. Woo! That kicked in quick. So, for my first story time story, I thought it was appropriate to talk about how I got that scratch on my tank. Since I've talked about it several videos here and there, I guess I've talked about it a bit. But I've always said I'd tell you guys a story about how that happened. But when I'm out riding, I tend to forget about that story. So I felt it appropriate. I'd tell you guys a story of how that scratch happened on my tank. It's a funny story, actually. Not at the time. It is now when I look back at it. Excuse me. So some of you guys might remember my very first video, motovlog video I recorded. You know, it was the one where the audio was really quiet and I had no idea how to adjust the volume of the audio. That one. It actually all started in that first video. Whilst I was doing my first motovlog, actually, I guess technically it was a vlog because I wasn't on my motorbike. I had my motorbike with me because I didn't have my microphone at my first motovlog. At the same time, I was doing a concept video, like a short film thingy that I had an idea for, and I just was doing like a little concept kind of sketch for it. Anyways, it was this one. Roll clip.
Hi. So, anyways, let me introduce myself. I'm Mr. Hooliganisms.
I hope this thing can hear me.
Oh, that seagull just shit right there. Gross. Oh, look, a fork! Oh. Anyways.
So it was that first motovlog. The area I was in, technically I shouldn't have taken a street bike on that area, but stupid me at the time thought it would be a good idea, because it wasn't like I hadn't done it before. I've done it many times, but you know, it only takes that one time and it completely fucks it up. So I decided it would be a good place to do the first motovlog, which it was. It was a perfect place. I got some good stuff out of it. It wasn't, however, a good place to ride a street bike, and I'll tell you why. That section service trucks drive through that sandy area and they leave tracks in the sand. By the way, this is totally not a pint of beer. It's a pint of delicious root beer that I put yummy. Anyways, these service trucks make these grooves in the sand and leave their tracks deep in the sand. Well, the wind had blown over those tracks and filled it up with sand. And as I was riding, I thought I was filming at the time. Apparently I wasn't. But my front wheel got locked into that track, that deep track of like 6 inches of sand. And it just ripped the wheel from underneath me. Basically, the bike just stopped and the wheel kind of skidded in the sand a little bit, stopped, and just fell over. And I went flying over the bars. Damn it, how many times have I gonna blow my fucking nose? Fortunately, I wasn't hurt. I basically just flew over the bars, kind of sideways, kind of like how I'm sitting right now, but in the opposite direction. And I just landed on my shoulder and rolled, but I ended up on my ass. Or I thought as I was recording the concept video, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So when I went over to the camera after I shut the bike off, I thought I was turning the camera off, but I turned it on. It was just a clip of the after effect of what happened. So yeah, my first motovlog. I ate it in the sand on a street bike of all things. Yeah, I know, smart idea. I mean, you back at it now, it's kind of funny. And you think, wow, I was really fucking stupid. Why'd I do that? I don't even know why I did that. But I did. At the time, I thought it was a great idea. And when it happened, I was really pissed. So that's what happened. That's how I got the scratch on the tank. So, whatever. So after I got the bike up, I inspected it. Of course, yeah, there's some scuffs on the engine covers. So I was gonna replace it anyways, which I've told you guys in the past. So there was that little bit of scratch. And so, yeah, I just put electrical tape over it to keep it from rusting or getting more damage. And eventually I filled it with paint. Then I dumped gas all over my tank and it turned into permanent bird shit. Yeah, that's the story. That's how I got the scratch on the tank. I'm glad I could finally get that off my chest because it hasn't exactly been eating away at me. In fact, not at all, but I mentioned it a few times and I never told the story. I thought this was a great opportunity to tell the story of how I got the scratch on my tank. Eventually I'll figure out and get it taken care of and whatnot. Now you guys do. I won't look like bird shit anymore. By the way, drinking from a bottle of healthy is like the hardest thing ever. I don't recommend it. Alright, I hope you liked the first episode of Story Time with Mr. Hooliganisms. But, and you can believe me, I'll be doing a few more of these. Well, now, story's over. Ta-ta. Yeah.